Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our fourth episode of Vibrations of Truth. I am Jen Smith, and I am a Reiki master and quantum healer and a coach. And today I have with me my co host, Michele. Michele, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi. I am Michele Bowen. Thanks for joining us today. I am a student of Jennifer's, taken Reiki 1, Reiki 2 with her, and do some studying with her in the program called Thinking into Results. So we're here today. Happy to have you. Can't wait to talk about loving our body while living in the world.
Yeah, very good. So that was our topic today, loving our body. And what brought this up was we've been talking a lot about the Sirius Portal and the different activations that people are receiving. And if anybody had an activation or some sort of fantastic meditation during that time period, please let us know. We'd love to have you on the show. We did invite a few people, and hopefully they'll be able to join us one of these weeks to talk about their experiences as well. I think it's good to talk about these things because there could be some people out there experiencing these activations, these energetic upgrades, and just want to know what is this all about.
Right, right.
Yeah. So
Go ahead. I was just thinking like how it impacts, possibly impacts when things are happening to their body that they're just really not really sure about what's going on. So I think it would be fun to just be able to explore that a little bit.
yeah, yeah. And it seems that everybody has a little bit of a different experience with that, with the energetic upgrade as far as what they're seeing and what they're feeling. All of it's beautiful experiences, but everybody's just a little bit different. And I think that's what we're going to get. We're all evolving at different rates. We all have unique so-called signatures, so we're receiving exactly what we need to activate uh, these different divine qualities from within. And it's an exciting time on earth right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I mean, I would love for everyone to experience these things. I think we all decided to be here at this time, and it's fun to see what we're really made of, what our true potential is, and what this time frame is all about.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So at the end of the Sirius Portal, I had a pretty profound meditation experience. And I know we talked a little bit on one of the episodes at the beginning of the portal, what happened. At the end of the portal, this would have been like July 7th timeframe, I had another really profound activation. And it started in the morning. It actually started, Michele, whenever we had our 6 a.m. morning class where we get together. It
Right,
was I don't think you can make it that morning. But
right,
during that time we were focusing, just doing our regular focusing on our goal and um, doing the 10 minute of visualizing. And at that time there was a very uh, crystal clear image of a man that I saw, and I didn't know who he was.
right.
Um, Sometimes I have precognitive skills where I will see that person later. So to me, in the morning, it seemed like that's what it was. So then you just kind of I journal that and I see what's going to happen. Well, later on that day, I was getting ready to actually go to like a branding photo shoot, and I was asking for guidance. I thought, well, I'll meditate right before I go, kind of saying, what is it that I want to tell people? How much do I want to tell them? Do I want to move forward with everything, which is
Right.
what we're doing today, right? This is everything. We're just speaking out loud here. So I got the first part of that was that man came back in, and so that was the first part of the dream, but it was really not related. It was more related to a family business that we're doing. So I got my message there, but because I had set my timer like just at 10 minutes because I wanted to make sure I didn't fall asleep, my timer went off, which I came back. And whenever I came back to like being in the present moment, my body was really, really hot.
Yeah.
And sometimes when your body's really hot, that could, you just want to lay there for a little bit to make sure that everything settles in and you fully come into presence here on the 3D plane. And I know that, so I just laid there. But what happened was I could feel my angels and guides and guardians rubbing my feet and like rubbing my legs down, which was started to cool me off.
Right.
And that's that's something that can happen where we can actually feel whenever we're in all of those dimensions, we're able to feel that real time because our consciousness expands so much that we are able to have those type of experiences. So there's more. So I don't know if you have any comments about that or if you've experienced that before.
I've never experienced being touched at this point, and I don't know that I'm so open to it quite yet. I think you just got to be kind of open, and I imagine that was probably a scary thing for you the first time that happened to you. Am I right or wrong? Well, how did you feel the first time that happened?
Well, I remember that it was right before Christmas time, so it was November, December timeframe,
Yeah.
um, where it was happening a lot. So because I would get real hot and then they would cool me off, and
Yeah.
I didn't know what that hotness was all about, you know. And it's almost like not my physical body's hot, but like the energetics around me are.
Yeah.
You feel hot, you feel like
Hmm.
you're hot, and I would say the first time, yes, it seemed because I didn't
Yeah.
know, and even as trusting and allowing as I am, like I, the first time things happen, it seems. But here's the thing: is that we have free will. So if anything like that happens, you can say, "I don't like that. Like, stop,"
Right.
and
Right.
everything stops. But then I got to thinking about it. It's like, wait a minute, that's like a really divine thing. So, um, that night before I went back to bed, I was like, "Okay, yes, I will allow this. I understand. I'm trying to understand these things, and I get it." And then it's good now. I
Right.
like that because it's support for us, um, and we're always being supported. So that's the thing is, we have our divine team that's always supporting us. Like, just ask for what you need. They're there to help.
Right. Right. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how how I would handle that. I have had the heat, the feeling of being so hot that it's a noticeable thing that's happening. Um,
Mhm.
and I just thought, man, this must be it's just really high energy, right? And it's just heating you up, but never the touching part of it yet. But something to explore or something to be open to. Yeah, curious makes me curious.
Yeah,
Anyway,
so what that some of the times that high heat can mean that you're moving into a higher vibrational state. So
okay,
you're like being recalibrated. So if anybody has ever felt that before, um, that's what that means.
okay,
And it's actually a really good thing.
okay.
So,
I didn't realize that it was. I was just thinking that it was energy, but the recalibration does make sense. Having all kinds of body things happening to my body
yeah,
recently.
yeah.
Curious. Okay. So tell
And
me about
then,
yeah. Tell me about your what happens after you're cooling off.
oh, after I was cooling off, so, I'm starting to cool off, but then what came to my mind was to just talk to my body, right? Because we know that we are spiritual beings, we have an intellect, and we live in our body. So there's been books out there about body talk and all sorts of things. So I started talking to my body, saying, uh, I love you. Isn't this great that we're here together? And,
Right.
and things of that nature. And immediately it started to cool down even more whenever I started saying that. and you can feel your cells. They're kind of, it's just like such a nice, uh, it's just a nice energy, kind of like just a flowy, energetic. It feels good. It feels good. Sort of like whenever you do self Reiki, and it just feels like
Yeah.
bubbles are all over you. You know
Yeah.
that sensation. That's how it was feeling. And whenever I did that, then a vibrant key, like a key, came into my third eye, and it was all colorful and shimmering and just like
Yeah.
doing this right in my third eye, and it swiped up like 2 or 3 times just
Wow.
so you would see it. Last time you talked about how symbols come in and sometimes they're very profound, like you've got to remember this, and sometimes
Yes.
they just flash so quickly it's hard to remember everything.
Yeah.
So that key, and I was like, "Oh, that's the key." So the key is to really, yeah, you have to really love your body and be kind to it and be nice to it. And I think that was just like an unlocking of another energetic, because shortly after that, there was like celebration signs. And this has happened to me before.
I love
And
that.
that's just like unlocking an expanded level of consciousness where even more spiritual gifts can come in. So, um, I would say that was probably my second really, really profound, woo, yay celebration. So
Yeah.
that was, I loved it. It was great.
That's amazing. I love that you were seeing celebration kinds of signs or symbols or whatever, and that's pretty special.
It is. It is. It's real special. So I thought, well, maybe we talk about that. That would be a great subject to talk about is our body and
Yeah.
who we really are and anything around that. So
Yeah.
would you like to start that discussion?
Oh gosh, my body. You want to talk about the things that are happening energetically? Are you talking about like maybe energetic shifts that are
Um,
happening, or like
we can
symptoms?
do that. I think maybe just, we learn and thinking into results. I think it was lesson number 4. Um, it touches upon how we're spiritual beings, we have an intellect, and we live in a physical body. And we exist on 3 planes simultaneously: spiritual, intellectual, and physical. And even more, really, we're multidimensional. But just those 3, if people can really understand that and own that, then that'll get them a lot further into manifestation, healing, and everything else, right? But yeah, so go ahead with. I just wanted to get that basic out there. So go ahead and talk about the body and what's coming to you to share
Yeah.
today.
Um, you're talking to me about things that you're feeling and sensations in your body and things that are going on, and I was thinking about how reading a recent installment that you had shared with me, and how we are not our body. We do have a physical form, but we are spiritual beings in this physical form, and just how sacred that is, and how you can kind of um, live beyond pain and live beyond the things that are happening, that seem to be happening to your physical body at the time. So, and just taking care in how you treat that, and yeah, I mean, can you talk a little bit more about that specifically? Just how sacred those things are. Just the way that we see things with our eyes. We're given these tools, or through our physical self, and how we can use, I guess, the spiritual part of us, can use this vessel in order to kind of function in the world, a little bit on a different level, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah. So the one thing that through our class, what we learn is that the body is an instrument of the mind. So what's ever going on in our mind through our conscious and subconscious mind, it's going to show up in the body. So our body lets us know what's going on. It's like an indicator for us while we're here to throw up warning signs that, hey, something's not quite right. It could be the way we're thinking about things, because a if we come from the divine aspect of who we are, we would not be worrying or doubting or putting ourselves through any of these doubts, worries, stresses, because that's not who we really are. That's not coming from the divine mind, right? So our body will signal to us when something's not quite right, and just paying attention to what we're feeling in our body can really give us a good indication of where we need to shift some of our thinking. Um, and that's also, I mean, we can heal. We can heal with the power of our mind. We can heal with the power of our mind. And if we can heal with the power of our mind, um, we can also do the opposite with our body by our mind and our focus, right? And so I think I hope that answers. Is that what you're kind of wanting me to go over?
Yeah, I'm just thinking too, just how you're, I mean, we can heal with our mind. I think there's got to be intention with those thoughts. I mean, that is pretty much kind of like thinking into results, right? The intentionality of the thought itself. Our thoughts they come and they come and they come, just kind of wild thoughts sometimes, not always the most positive thoughts, but kind of being able to um, capture that and kind of tame that portion of what happens in our world to make our thoughts more intentional to get the results that we want, to work through the things that we need to work through in order, to kind of get where we need to go. I'm not sure if you can expand maybe on that even a little bit too, because we heal with our mind. That's intention, right? That's absolute focus and intention on a
Mhm.
specific thing. Um, I'm not, if you want to
Yeah,
maybe.
so what I would say to that is what heals consciousness heals. So, um, our consciousness, our conscious attention. So whenever if we go back to thinking into results, some people's goals may be a health goal, and you actually visualize yourself in that healthy state and know it's gonna happen, and, put the steps towards that, and you can manifest in your health, your healthy state. Um, but it's really the consciousness around it, what's in our consciousness. And I know we do a few exercises, we have all kinds of tools that we use, right? But one of the things uh, was that before we go to bed to think about our day and how great it was, and if there was something that wasn't quite to our liking, we would have liked it to look different. We just kind of take that piece out, insert how we would like it to look, and but it's really that simple. I mean, you just kind of take a big eraser on the consciousness of the thoughts and put in what you like, and then visualize that, and that's the message we're sending out to the universe. And that's what starts to change. So to me, that's kind of changing the consciousness, which is the intention and attention that we're giving things to make things manifest.
And so you can do that with, I mean, you can do that all the time. I'm just thinking about body related kinds of things and how you're in the healing work, right, in itself, and how your body responded to the thoughts that and words that you were speaking to it, and how you can do that. That's a powerful thing to be able to do that, to be able to shift and heal, um, through word, through speaking, through what you speak, um, through what you're, I guess, just what you're kind of, how you're treating yourself, right? I
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say that thinking is probably, it all starts, I would imagine, with the thoughts.
Yeah, yeah. So
Just
it is, and you have to, because we can manifest anything. We can manifest anything. So really, our health is there, but it's really thinking into it and believing it and knowing it. So if we can think it, but if we don't believe it through every cell of our being, it's not going to happen. So that's why we have to think it on all levels, our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. We can manifest anything.
right.
I remember Bob saying one time whenever we were with him, and when somebody asked a question about, um, you know, manifesting like health or physical appearances, and he was a little flustered at us, I think, because he's like, "You're not getting this. You're not getting this. Yes, you can manifest anything." And I just remember that because he was like, "Yeah, you can manifest anything, and you can."
I love that. I'm just thinking
I
too,
think.
just like what you're taking in, right? Just kind of what you're taking in the world, um, through your eyes, like what you're focusing on, whether that be actual taking in, maybe different content, maybe the news, maybe just it could be anything, and being also intentional about that, the things that you're bringing into yourself. And also how we choose to see things, right? So I don't know. I'm just trying to piece it all together, and just how, um, that would change just everything, because what you're looking at, how you perceive things, all of the things kind of coming together, and having to shift in order to bring everything into balance in some way, to be able to bring all of that into balance. If you're looking at things that are maybe negative, and you're internalizing those things versus things that are positive, and internalizing those things, that all comes into the mix of what
It sure does.
your thoughts, right? I mean, just
It sure
things that you're
does.
listening to, things that you're looking at, places that you're around. Your body is taking in all of those things. Um, so just being very mindful of that, and how that impacts everything, and impacts not just your physical body, but impacts how you're feeling, which impacts your thoughts. All of that going together, that vicious cycle of
Mhm.
how it's all coming together to create that result, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why, really getting that mindset mastery is so important because you have to block out so many things from the outside world, those things that you don't want.
Right.
You don't, and it's easier for me to just not pay any attention to them. Like if I'm not looking at them, if I'm not engaged with them, then it's not getting into my thoughts or my subconscious. So I have boundaries for myself on what I'll do. And we talk about habits. One of my habits is no news. I don't watch any news, because what's happening is not going to affect my life because I know we're creators. So really, if everyone's glued to the news, any narrative can be put out there. So it's sort of like you're volunteering to be brainwashed down that path.
Yeah. I mean, just all of that alone, just the impact that it has. And I'm sure, people probably feel that on some level, when they're watching it. You can, if you're paying attention to how you're feeling sadness, you're feeling, or, grief, or anger, or whatever that you're feeling. You're choosing those things.
Mhm.
You're choosing that over and over. And that is affecting everything inside you. It affects everything inside of you. And so it's not a preachy thing. I'm just trying to make people aware of that, I guess. Just the awareness factor. Start paying attention. I mean, you have to go in the world, and you have to function in the world. And that is quite challenging, to be able to, have control of the things that you're thinking about, have control, noticing the thoughts that are coming into your head, noticing the information that you're receiving, noticing all of those things, and being so present that you can push it away, or change whatever it is, the first thought that comes to your head. Oh, that's not truth. The truth is, this. So that you're not internalizing that, right? And then creating a narrative and creating your reality or what's going on around you into something that you really truly don't want. Um, that's the incredible thing. Like we have a tremendous amount of power, a tremendous amount of power to make those things, make ourselves better, make our bodies better, make our worlds better. It's incredible to me.
It is incredible. It is incredible. And I always wonder, why weren't we taught all of this?
Yeah. Yeah, I know we kind of just kind of been a little disjointed, but I think I'm just processing the things that you're telling me, the stories that you're saying and sharing right now, and how, how the bigger picture, how we get to that bigger picture. And you have these wonderful experiences, and is because you've been able to um, start putting into practice the strategies that you have from the thinking into results. Um, those have helped your spiritual growth. They've helped how you operate in general, your habits, all of the things, um, and your life looks very different. And I'm so intrigued by it, and I love it, and I feel like I'm inspired by you, how you move through life. So I'm very drawn to that and drawn to you, and this is why I'm studying with you and have chosen that, for various different kinds of content. But um, it's for anyone watching that does not know where that starts. It really does start with being present and making those choices. That's where it starts. Everything else kind of falls into place after that, and that's not necessarily easy, but it's something you have to try, that you have to practice, and it's just a whole way of life, and a practice that you have to continuously do until it becomes your normal. And that
Yes.
is, yeah, and then you can move through life, um, and um, there's an ability to kind of look beyond all of those other things, or have a higher perspective on all the things that are going on. And there's a lot of choice in that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a wonderful way to live, but it is really training your mind to pay attention to what you want to bring into your life and to have boundaries on things. And then after a while, once you get, at least this was my journey, once I got used to that, then you can go back out because, you know, everybody's on their own unique path, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So, releasing judgment on what anybody else is doing, releasing judgment upon yourself, that's a big one, right? Because we're so self-judging, but not judging anyone else, and everyone has the right to be however
Yeah.
they want to be, and that's
Yeah.
okay, right?
Yeah.
It makes a
Yeah.
very colorful world. So that's kind of the last piece of it too. Once you get back out, and now that you're doing it this way, it's okay. People aren't doing it that way, but I think they should know about it
Right.
because this is, I believe this is how we were designed and how we're supposed to be living because it's peaceful, it's easier, it's more joyful. Creation's fun.
Yeah.
Creation is fun to see what are we creating? What good are we creating out in the world today?
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Life changing.
it is. It is. Yeah. So we're the creators of our world, and we can do magnificent things, um, even beyond this physical world, because we're spiritual beings. We have so many different spiritual gifts. As we have the activations and those energetic activations, it's activating within us. Um, it could be new spiritual gifts, it could be new gifts of healing, it could be so many different things. So all of these things that we're able to do, like bilocation and all of these supernatural things, every single person can do it.
Yeah.
if
I
they
love
work their way up to it. I
right.
do know that some people I've talked to, like they have said they're afraid to heal. They're afraid to look at what's in the subconscious mind and bring that up and heal it. And it's work. That's the inner work you have to do, and it
It
doesn't have
absolutely
to be hard, right?
no. It's there are a lot of people, I'm sure, that have things that they don't want to face or that are hard to face. Um, they've stuffed away or just ignored or whatever the case may be. Trauma, I'm sure there's trauma all around, right? Um, it really is worth digging up. It's worth digging up and looking at even little by little, right? Once you see, I think, one thing, a lot of times the other stuff starts unfolding quickly behind that. Um, you see how beliefs come into play, just how you've been inundated your whole life with different belief systems that you didn't choose. And, well, at some point you consciously choose them, but, initially you don't. Um, and yeah, there's a lot to unpack. Uh, and I do find that a lot of people don't want to face that don't want to kind of delve into that pain and
Mhm.
prefer to keep it away. But it's worth challenging yourself. It's for sure worth challenging.
Well, it is because that's where manifestation comes in.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to change my message about healing because it's not that you're broken, it's like you're healing to get to the abundance, right?
Yes.
It's like an abundance healer. And I think many people that I see, that's the reason they come because they recognize, you know, what needs to be done. And everybody, most of the people on the planet have done this, just stuffed away emotions. It's kind of what we're taught
Yeah.
growing up, like nope, don't want to talk about it. You just stuff the emotion down and forget about it. And it's
Right.
just pulling up all those little episodes and just pulling it to the surface and healing it. You don't have to squalor in that emotional upset. It's just recognize it, clear it. And this is why energy healing works, breath work, works, meditation works because you're just allowing that energy to flow freely to and through you and heal all of these emotions, and it's a necessary part of, yeah, necessary part of evolution
Yeah.
and manifestation and healing, right?
Yeah. I think one part of that too that just kind of occurred to me about the pain and the trauma and the things like that, and I'm no way am I minimizing that for anyone, but it is the past, right? And all we have is right now in this moment, and this moment is good. And you know, we can at some point hopefully really be able to release all of those things, like you said, acknowledge it, it did happen, it is real, or it was real, but
Mhm.
it is no longer. And I think moving forward from the present moment, easier said than done sometimes, I think, for people, but moving forward and being in the present moment, um, if you're able to get there and do that, then those things will fall away. They will naturally fall away. Um, you won't want to hold them anymore.
Mhm.
You won't want to
Mhm.
define yourself by those things anymore.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think and once we do that work and as we're moving through life, it's not like we're still gonna have challenges that present
Yeah,
itself, but we can handle those a lot easier. Any emotions right there on the spot come into presence, it clears. So we're not storing that information deep into our subconscious mind. But it's got an energetic emotions have an energetic charge to it. So when we store these down, like, it's literally making you vibrate lower, right? So high vibration, a beautiful high vibration, we wanna release those lower charged particles, lower
yeah,
charged emotion, and replace them with the good, replace them with more of who we are, pull that to the surface, more of our divine
right.
qualities.
Right.
Oh,
How do you
wow.
how do you how do you do that, Jen? Just like a couple quick ways, like of through meditation. Like, give us some tools. Like, what is it? What are the go tos um, to pull out of those low vibrations?
Oh, when you're in a low vibration,
Yeah,
like in the present, or you're doing healing work from past?
I would say anytime, like when you're in that low vibration. What is it? I mean, obviously you want people to feel their feelings in
If you
the moment,
Yeah,
right?
if you wanna shift immediately to a high vibration, um, whenever you recognize, "Oh, wait, I'm not," um, if you have the goal, like what we do in the class, and we have that crystal clear image of what we want, and we've already felt into the getting emotionally involved with how that makes us feel, you should be able to pull that image to the screen of your mind right away, and instantly you'll shift your vibration, because it's a repetitive picture that we've been doing every single day, right? So
Right.
that's one practical way you can do it. Practical way people can do it. Another thing is gratitude. If you just sit down and you just write things that you're grateful for, gratitude instantly lifts your vibration. Um, so those are two things: breath work, conscious breath work, which really just brings you to the present moment. If you can just get into the present moment, that'll start raising your vibration instantly. So breath work is good. Hand to heart, breathing into the heart space and breathing out. Um, and just meditation, if that's why meditation is so important, is like really practicing your mind to get into that meditative state right away. So morning meditation practices, it will help you down the road, because when you are in these lower vibrations states, whenever you realize that you're worrying or stressing about something over and over, you can instantly shift to that meditative state, and it'll dissolve all of those emotions. But to me, it took practice, that's why um,
Yeah.
meditation was important, because now you can get there just in an instant.
Right, right. I love the go tos of gratitude and things like that. Those are for someone who doesn't have or is struggling. I think with the meditative being in meditation because their minds are too busy or whatever, they're just not there yet. That's a wonderful suggestion. Um,
Mhm.
I know for me it did take a while. My mind was very busy, and thoughts would come. They were very intrusive, and all of those kinds of things. It did take a while for me to be able to meditate and really be present and be get much out of that. It did take a bit. So I love the other options, the other
Yeah, and I
tools.
think it's just interrupting that thought pattern,
Yeah,
interrupting it somehow. So if you can make a move, I mean, some people have little things that they do just as a reminder, like moving your body somehow, turning on some good music that you like and just dancing, just anything you can do to interrupt that brain pattern.
yeah,
But,
and
you're gonna be out and about in life, so you probably don't wanna have to turn on the radio and dance. You want something a little more subtle whenever you're out
oh,
there, although that
I
would be
wouldn't.
fun.
Yeah, to me, I wouldn't mind if I wouldn't mind at all turning the music on and dancing wherever I'm at. That sounds wonderful to me. The
Mhm.
visualizing too, visualizing what you do want, seeing it in the moment, the way that you believe it should be or feel that it should be in a healthier way. Also is a really good interrupter. So thank you for that. Yeah, thanks for sharing that one.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Alright, well, we're already at 38 minutes, so, is there anything else that you would like to add on today's show? I still didn't get through all my complete meditation, because at the, after the key and the celebration, I just wanted to mention this part is, uh, my dog had come into my room, 'cause that's where I was at, and, because I'm very aware of what's going on here and what's going on in all the realms at the same time, basically. And I just got to worry that he was going to interrupt my meditation. And anytime there's a distraction
Yeah,
or sometimes fear, you have to get through fear. That's one of the things that we have to learn, get through fear on the physical plane, um, and also like anything that's coming, you know, energetically. But anytime you introduce a distraction into meditation, it can throw you off a little bit. And that was the distraction, just the dog. I don't want him to wake me up. Like, this is so great, you know? And so there was a little distraction that came in that I noticed. And whenever that happens, you go back into presence, full presence, even in your meditations. And then that will dissolve any distractions. And I think that's important for people to know.
Yeah.
You just go back into full presence. So any tools that we're talking about to utilize on the physical plane, you can also utilize these in your meditations and in the energetic plane as well, because it's all important. I did call in my whenever that distraction came in, I called in my angels and my guides and my guardians, uh, and there was what surfaced was there was this big pool of water above me. And so that's just kind of like a cleansing water, like your divine team. It's also showing that the veil is thinning. So the veil gets thinner and thinner all the time. We see more, and then there's always more to see. So the more we see, the more we trust. And the more we trust, the more we see. So it's just this upward spiral in life of greatness.
Yeah. I love your stories. I love they're so I don't know. They just fill me up. It's good. It's good to know. And I think just to know that those things that they can happen. Um,
Mhm.
they are happening. They can happen to anyone. Um, it's pretty good. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, and I would like to, if anybody out there is listening to this and they would like to come on the show and and share their experience, we would love to have that too, because
Yeah,
people have these experiences all the time. And that's because, I work with clients that come to me and ask questions, and because of the experiences they've had. So if anybody would like to share, I think it's healthy to do so. I think it will help other people. So please contact us, and we'll have you on.
yeah. That would be great. That would be amazing to hear more people who are going through it, who are going through these types of things or experiencing these types of things, and um, sometimes you just feel like where is everybody at? I don't I don't have a lot of people in my world that have the same types of belief systems and that live in this way.
Mhm.
So come on out of the woodwork. Yeah, come join us.
Oh, there's gonna be more. Yeah, I had to reach out globally to find my group, but there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that just aren't sharing yet. I mean, they're
Yeah,
having the experiences. Um, so hopefully this will help them come out and say, "Hey, yeah, this is real. This is what's happening, and it's wonderful."
it is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well, thank you, Michelle, for joining me again today. I love your presence here as co-host and all your um, wisdom that you're carrying with you and the questions that you have. So have a wonderful week, and
thank you.
we'll be back next week for everyone. Thank
Okay.
you, and bye bye.